Oke, terima kasih. Okay. Bye-bye. Chacha Homestay and Dormitory. We're in Ruteng. We're back on the road. That is one of the best homestays I've ever had the pleasure of. Super friendly people, really clean, lovely place. They cook for us really good food and cheap restaurant prices. A superb breakfast included. They ground their own coffee, roasted and ground their own coffee. It doesn't, and the coffee was all free. It doesn't get much better than that. Oh, and it came to a total of 125,000 rupiah, £6. We're in Ruteng. I have no idea what number of day this is on the tour, so we're going to reset the clock and call this Flores Day 2. A similar day to yesterday, slightly less climbing. Just show you the profile. I think you can see the profile on my computer. So we're hiding a 7k climb out of the gate, but then we descend all the way to the coast, so that should be pretty. Go up a bit, down a bit, and then a big climb all the way up to Bajawa. 135 kilometers, nearly 3,000 meters of climbing. All the way down to sea level, second breakfast, bag of donuts. We got a bit of a bump up and down, and then 26k climb all the way up, back up into the mountains. This was the little beach town of Imeri. We might stop here on the way back, but for now, it's a little bit busy because school's out. But now, let the games commence. 26k climb up to where we're staying tonight, Bajawa. It looks a little bit cloudy at the top, and as ever, that may work in our favour. It may not. Climb starts here. School's out. 26 kilometers, 1,200 meters of climbing. That's about 4 or 5% average, so nothing too crazy. Looks fairly stable, fairly steady all the way up. It's going to be a couple of hours, 2.5 hours with a break somewhere. It's hot as anything because we're at sea level, but it's definitely cloudy up there, so I think it'll only be toasty for the first half an hour or so. Should be up by 2 o'clock, I reckon, so that gives us time for a decent rest and to wash and dry my kit. Got another big one tomorrow, so a rest would be good. I got some food down in Imeri, so I've not made the same mistakes as yesterday. Plus this lovely Gwenpan tree, castanea, mangoes, dog sleeping. Smiley locals, as ever. Up and up and up. About a quarter of the way up. It has been raining. Roads are wet. Certainly cooled off, although it's very humid. Lovely jungle though, really pretty. Yeah, we've done about a quarter of the climbing. Just keep going up. I don't see people wearing waterproofs on who are coming down, so that's a good sign. Getting wet at sea level is no problem because you're warm and wet. Getting wet at 1,200 meters in minimal clothing is not so much fun, but as ever, we get what we get. Over halfway up, we're getting up into the mists and the cloud. Still warm enough. It's not actually raining for now. That may all change. It's this lovely little cottage here. Pretty garden. It is the most beautiful climb. Real jungle. Just birds and insects. Very little traffic. Very few people. Quite special. Descending is fun, you're sort of bombing down mountains at speed, but if you want to take in the nature and that, this is the perfect climb because it's not very steep. It's averaged about 4%, which is fairly gentle, and it's been really steady the whole way, so it's going by quickly, but not so quickly that I can't admire the nature. And nature there is in abundance. World's simplest shop, side of the road, cut wood, simple life. Oh, an even more simple shop, just some fruit on a chair. Over the climb, rain started a while back, wasn't worth stopping, I knew it'd only get cold, and ahead lies Bajawa, coffee country apparently. I've seen a few coffee plants. So now I have booked a place to stay for tonight because I met a young man in the last hostel who recommended somewhere, so I thought, I'll just book it. Cinnamon Guest House. Sounds good? I think I've even got a single room. Here we are, Cinnamon. I have arrived. I have sort of checked in, and I arrived just as the family was having lunch, so I got invited for lunch, which was very nice. And then the arak came out, the local grog, so I'm feeling quite merry. I'm also soaking wet, so I need to get these clothes off. It has stopped raining, so I can get my clothes washed and dried, and then chill, ready to do it all again tomorrow. Leaving Bajawa, try not to get run over. It's not early doors, it's 7:30, very late, but I had to wait for my free breakfast, and I'm glad I did because it was very nice. Banana pancake, some fresh fruit, and 3 cups of coffee. And I haven't got such a long day today. We've 125k, but not so much climbing. It's mostly descending down to the coast to the city of Ende. There's Mount Inari, biggest volcano on Flores, just outside Bajawa. Hopefully those clouds weren't there first thing, because one of the young lads in the hostel got up at 2 a.m. to go and climb it for the dawn sunrise views. A rare Pura Hindu temple. Balinese immigrants, I guess. Another volcano, wonderfully named Mount Ebu Lobo. Just clearing at the top. Now all the way coast, if I can get past this bus. Last 35k into Ende along this beautiful coast road. At the famous Bluestone Beach, people harvesting the stones. I thought the last 40k was going to be an easy ride along the coast. Far from it. Just a series of short, sharp climbs over headlands. Anyway, that must be Ende down in the dip there, and this is its tabletop mountain, although there seems to be a couple of those. So we got a couple of more little steep climbs, and then down and then into Ende for lunch, and I am hungry. Found somewhere to stay, the Apollo Capsule Hotel. Probably the last thing I'd expect to find here in Ende. I've got to leave my bike outside, but they lock it at night, so I think it'll be fine. Come and see what my bed looks like. $150,000, so about £7. Pretty cheap. Yeah, it's air conditioned, it's got Wi-Fi, it's got everything you need. Little kitchen. I think the bike will be safe. And then tomorrow we head up the mountain again, Kelimutu volcano. Riding up the mountain from Ende to Moni. Not a long ride, but a big climb, not aided by the fact I went the wrong way for a few kilometers. Ouch. So we've still got 30k, 1200 meters of ascent, a couple of hours at least. Wind in the bamboo. And the crickets. Something I keep meaning to mention and keep forgetting is that I think 2016, 2017, maybe the year before, there was a professional bike race that came through Flores, the Tour de Flores. Seems incredible, especially as the roads were not good then. Apparently they've only been good for a couple of years. A Brit won it the first year, can't remember his name, maybe a Frenchman the second, and that was the end of it, sadly. This is the turn for Kelimutu volcano, 10k climb. Now I was going to keep this for the morning, but we got plenty of time, so I think we should ride it now. Hopefully we'll get some views from the top, and then tomorrow, which will be my 59th birthday, maybe we can have a slightly easier day. Been going for the KOM. Last 100 meters. Oh, absolute killer. I think I've got it. Well, made it, got the KOM from someone I know, Herman, so sorry if you're watching this, Herman. That is pretty much the end of the tour, well, in terms of out and back, because at this point I turn around, well, I go down to Moni to stay the night, but then I'm heading back through Ende, staying on the beach and heading back to Labuan Bajo. So that is pretty much it. Maybe get a shot of me lounging at the beach on my birthday with a cocktail.